Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Springfield Miles, the Memphis Shade Springfield Mile presented by Law Tigers. It's round number 13 of Progressive American Flat Track. We had a great day yesterday. Here's a shot from the Insta 360, the official action camera of American Flat Track. That's the Super Twins yesterday. What a shot that was right off the start for the main event. We're looking for some more action just like we had yesterday. Maybe even some better action here today as we had a whole day to get the track ready to go for today's racing action. We are here at the Springfield Mile. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is opening ceremonies. It is time to get started right away from MRO. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Raymond Rizzo for today's invocation. Please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps for Raymond Rizzo.
Thank you, Scotty. Let's all pray together. Loving Heavenly Father, we're so thankful for the opportunity to stand before you one more time. What a beautiful day that you've created, and we're so thankful for all your grace, your mercy, your love, and your peace. We ask that you would help every rider today to do their best as they navigate this incredible track. We also pray, Lord, that your perfect will would be accomplished in each and every individual. We thank you for all their teams and all those that are working today to put this event on. We're so grateful for the Kisos that you, all these years, we're so grateful for all they've done, and we're thankful. We ask an extra blessing upon Dave and Tamra, and we also thank you for all of their staff. Bless them. And we pray, Lord, that all those that are serving around the world will be encouraged. Thank you for the freedoms that we enjoy. And we ask, God, for all those that are here today and watching TV, we ask that you'd bless them. May they see an awesome show, and we'll thank you for it in Jesus' name. And everybody said, amen and amen.
Amen. Thank you, Raymond. Please remain standing, and please welcome to sing our national anthem. It is Brittany Hamill.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Brittany Hamill, ladies and gentlemen, she's been singing out here since she was 3 years old. That is amazing. Also, before we get going, a special shout out to Carl Boom Boom Steinmacher. He passed away earlier this year, and he normally is the one that blasts the fireworks right there in the national anthem and at the end of the race. So thoughts are with him, Carl Boom Boom Steinmacher. Thanks for all you've done for the Springfield Mile. It's just about race time here today. We're going to go with one round of practice for the Mission Super Twins. It'll be 6 laps. We'll come right back with the Aft Production Twins practice. It will also be 6 laps. And then after that, we will have Aft Production Twins semifinals 1 and 2. Mission Super Twins semifinals 1 and 2. Steve Moorhead is out there on that Royal Infield doing some sighting laps right now to check it out. If that track is good to go, when he pulls off, we'll get into the racing action. So we'll have 4 semifinals, 2 for the Production Twins, 2 for the Mission Super Twins. We'll have a short break in the action. After that, we'll have the Aft Production Twins Memphis Shades Dave DeMay Challenge, followed by the Mission Super Twins Challenge. Both of those are $5,000 to win. Both of those are 4 laps apiece. The top 4 coming out of the semis, the top 2 actually for each semi, making into those challenges. Then we'll have our Aft Production Twins main event and our Aft Super Twins main event. We know we're out here on Labor Day, Monday morning, getting started early so we can get you folks down the road back home so you can get ready for your regular work week starting tomorrow, of course. That's Steve Moorhead, formerly the Finley Flyer. That's what we still call him, the Finley Flyers, out there doing some evaluation laps on his Royal Enfield. Basically, that's a stock motorcycle. He took the lights off, took the taillights off, the blinkers, and put an AFT front number plate on there. Also, if you're roaming around out front, stop by the souvenir trailer out there, the Sideways on Purpose. They have the Springfield Mile shirts. I went through there. They still have a little bit left of Springfield Mile shirts. They've also got some really cool stickers. And a shout out to T-Shirt Dave down there. He's down there in the booth right outside the front gate. Also out there is the American Flat Track Clothing Company, the official merchandise of American Flat Track. Stop by and check them out. The Rookies of 79 is out there on the midway. All kinds of things happening out there as the bikes start staging up right now. Mission Super Twins will roll onto the racetrack first, and then Production Twins will practice, and then a short break in the action, and then the Production Twins semis will go first. So the Production Twins are going to have to go pretty much back-to-back. They're using their qualifying from yesterday, so however they got qualified in from yesterday, that's how they get their starting lineups for today's semifinals. Moorhead looks pretty smooth out there on that Royal Enfield. Yesterday we had some onboard action, some very close action. Here's some onboard from the Insta360, the official action camera of American Flat Track. It was really close, only inches apart right here at about $140 at the end of the straightaways. Here comes the 69, the 44. But on the podium yesterday after the race, Kristen caught up with Briar. Briar said it might have a little bit been too close for comfort. Let's take a listen.
You seem very emotional. Why is that?
We're doing 130 mile an hour, and guys clipping each other's bars and doing just dumb stuff. So it just doesn't make very much sense to me personally.
Jared, Briar had expressed some discontent during his podium interview with how closely you were racing him. Can you defend that kind of racing? And from your perspective, did you feel like you were that close to him?
Yeah, there was a couple times. Well, it's mile racing for one. I mean, you know, we're drafting back and forth down the straightaways, and you know, to get the absolute best draft out of somebody is you pretty much ride up as close as you can on the back of the wheel, and when you come by, you don't slingshot 3 feet past them. You kind of go as tight as you can past them, and it's just the name of the game when it comes to drafting. There was a moment going into turn 3 that we split Briar, where Brandon went to the inside and I went to the outside. And at that very moment when Brandon went up the inside, it kind of moved Briar up because Brandon was coming to the inside of him and I was coming around him. And I do remember grazing his elbow with my elbow as we were approaching into turn 3. I mean, I went back. I heard his complaints on the podium, and I went back and I watched it last night. And I mean, they pretty much focused on us all 25 laps, and I didn't see anything out of the ordinary at all. I heard that he was a little upset with my move off turn 4 going for the checkered, but you're allowed one move, and you know the famous move is to either come out and go high or come out high and go low, and I came out high and went low. So I didn't really see anything wrong with it myself. I've seen way worse, but I mean, if you want to see some aggressive racing, you ought to bring up Charlotte last year with him and I going at it. That was questionable in my book, but no complaints from me.
How do you focus on today? Do you even think about it, or will you change your style of racing knowing that he was not happy with you? How do you kind of move forward today?
It's the same thing. I mean, I know, you know, Briar said something about revenge or something like that. I mean, hey, I didn't think there was anything out of the ordinary with it. You know, things happen out there. Like I said, we're racing closer at the Springfield mile going 130 miles an hour than we are at, say, you know, Weedsport going 60 miles an hour, or Peoria or Lime or anything. I mean, the racing's always close at flat track, but on miles, you spend a lot of time side by side with a lot of people out there. And like I said, I didn't see anything wrong with what I did. And you know, before I said anything to him back, I wanted to go back and watch the film and see for my own eyes. But you know, we had one moment out there going into turn 3, and that's all I've seen.
So I'm really just focused on today. I had one of my better Springfield miles yesterday. I've taken second here before, but I've never felt like I was kind of in control a little bit. Obviously, I didn't lead a whole lot of laps, but I never felt like I was just hanging on. I always felt like I belonged to where I was at and even had room to improve. So there's a few things I need to clean up. I kind of messed up my last lap off turn 4 a little bit, and that's just kind of part of learning Springfield. I still have only a few laps compared to Jared around here and a couple of the other guys, so just trying to figure it out. They're so good at just knowing where they need to be and how they need to time it, and I'm just trying to learn, but I'm also trying to win. So there's a fine line between those two, and I think every time I do a lap around here, I pick up something new. So that's the goal for today, is take what I learned yesterday, hopefully put it into play today, and maybe win.
Bikes on track, first and only round of practice. 69 Sammy Halbert's out there leading the pack. The 1 is Briar Bauman, 9 Jared Meese, 20 is Jared Vanderkoy, 95 JD Beach, 37 Bronson Bauman, 92 Brandon Price on a backup motorcycle. I heard he's on his B bike. 67 Davis Fisher, 36 Colby Carlisle got his 3rd top 5 out of the year yesterday. 27 Bugs Pearson, 69 Sammy Halbert, 43 is Rispoli, the 4 is Brian Smith, 71 Pat Buchanan, 59 Hayden Gillum, the 23 Jeffrey Carver Jr., who had a mechanical right off the start yesterday, so hopefully he can do a little bit better today. Looks like they were kind of tiptoeing around a little bit on that first lap, and maybe the second lap. Now they're starting to get the full song. So these top 2 riders, we're talking about Jared Meese and Briar Bauman. Again, Briar had those comments after the race yesterday, said that he's maybe not riding as clean as he thought he should be on a mile. Jared said it's just racing. He talked about what he was doing last year at Charlotte. So it's going to get a little dicey, maybe a little spicy between these top 2. Jared Meese and Briar Bauman with 3 races left. Championship still up for grabs in this class. Vanderkoy pulls off the racetrack already, so the 20 bike had issues yesterday. Jeffrey Carver's fastest right now in practice at 36.188. Just as I say that, Brandon Robson goes to the top spot, 36.184, and Carver goes back to the top spot, 35.989. The 23's on fire right now. I know it's only practice, but we're setting up today. 1 round of practice and we get straight into our semifinals here. A quick day at the Springfield Mile. Robinson out front, now second, 36.184. There's look at 43, James Rispoli back there in the 11th spot. It's their only practice session. Carver looking up the inside. Carver's actually caught from the backside of Briar Bauman, trying to maybe see if he can use the draft to set a little bit quicker lap. This is kind of setting the stage right now. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go in our only round of practice for the Mission Super Twins presented by S&S Cycle. All right, I'm Scotty Duval. Let's check in real quick with Kristen B. Kristen, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. I spoke with Jared Vanderkoy earlier in the day, and he expressed that on the first day here at the Springfield Mile, it was an electronic issue. He just suddenly felt the bike kind of give out, and as I'm walking over here to the pit right now, I'm going to see if he's available or if he can kind of explain what's going on in there, but it looks to be the same issue they might have had yesterday. So right now, Jared Vanderkoy obviously disappointed because earlier in the day he had said, you know, we don't know exactly what's going on. We're going to try to fix it, but it doesn't seem as though they've isolated that issue yet.
And electrical issues are sometimes very hard to find, so that was Kristen Beat checking in, getting us a report on the 20 bike Jared Vanderkoy, who pulled off early. Jared Meese quickest in practice, a 35.942. Brandon Robinson second, 35.989, exactly the same as the 23 Jeffrey Carver, 35.989. Sammy Halbert fourth quick in practice, 36.065. Briar Bauman, our defending champ, back there in 5th with a 36.068. So it's setting up to be another repeat of yesterday. The same contenders up there, Meese, Robinson, Carver, Briar Bauman. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like they're making it slowly down there. Going to do a little practice start before they take it back to the pit area. That's our only round of practice here today. After practice, we'll have a short break in the action. Then we'll come back with the Production Twins semis, the Mission Super Twins semis, and our challenge races, and then our main events. So up next is the Aft Production Twins presented by Vance and Hines. There are 2 groups of riders in the Production Twins. 21 total riders will try to attempt to make it into their main event. We'll take the top 16 unless somebody uses a provisional, and we'll have 17 riders in the Production Twins main event. Group number 1, your points leader coming out will be the 65, Corey Texter, a commanding lead in the point standings. He will lead them out. Corey Texter, 5 wins, 9 podiums so far here in 2021. He is 59 points ahead of Dalton Gauthier, who's not here. Dan Bromley setting 3rd. There's a look at him on the 62 Memphis Shades Yamaha. He'll be trying to recover from what happened yesterday. Pulled off early. Bromley's right here. Going the outside is Chad Coase. 65 Corey Texter on the track. Also Coase got up there and got a podium yesterday. Was looking for a win. 25 Ben Lau had a little mechanical issue yesterday. 68 Barnes, 64 S-Lake, 32 Dallas Daniels, yesterday's winner. 42 Jeremiah Duffy had a good run going. He had some issues at the end of the race. And Kristen Beat caught up with Dan Bromley earlier to find out what happened yesterday. Let's take a listen. So somebody's got their hands up. Watch out over there. Looks like Ben Lau. Or maybe it's that Chad Coase. We'll see. It's on the inside right there. Missed him. 25 Ben Lau. Ben Lau having an issue again, just like he did yesterday. Puts his hand up. Yesterday was in the main event. And earlier,
Springfield Mile 1. Dan, I know you guys have been struggling with the block. What exactly happened?
For our knowledge, we haven't torn it apart yet, but we were able to find some parts in the air filter. Actually went through the throttle bodies in the air filter, some of the cam chain parts, and some of the valves we could see through the ports were broken. So we think we had another block failure. It's a bummer. We keep throwing things at it, and it keeps coming back and fighting us back. So we got some R&D to do, and just got to figure it out. And we got to get 2 bikes ready to go for today and for next week.
Dan Bromley just be caught up with him again. He was running up front and had a little mechanical issue. He's currently 10th quickest in this practice session. Jesse Janish is the top spot right now, 36.799. This is their only chance to practice before today's race. Janish, Chad Coase, Dallas Daniels back there in 3rd. Barnes is 4th. Dylan Bell, the Kansas rider, in 5th. Pat Buchanan running both classes. He is in the 6th spot. He's going to be the Iron Man at 50 years of age. He's running both classes today. Trying his hand out in the Super Twins class. Got a ride on an Indian for this weekend. He is racing in the Production Twins class all year. There's a good look at Chad Coase. The track looks a little bit faster than it was yesterday. It definitely looks smoother, and it's still wet, and it's early in the morning, so it's not as warm as it was later on in the day yesterday. As it gets warmer, the track tends to slow down a little bit. There's S-Lake on the 64. Right behind him, Dan Bromley in the 65. Corey Texter again, a huge margin in the points lead for 65, so he's trying to salvage some more points. And Dalton Gauthier is in 2nd points. He's not even racing. Dan Bromley 65 points behind Corey Texter. So this is Corey Texter's championship to lose right now, in my opinion. With just a few rounds left next weekend, the Sacramento Mile, Saturday and Sunday. Watch out, slick going around the outside of the 62. I talked to Danny earlier today. Said, hey, I just could not keep the wheels in line. He said, my bike was just not working on the high line yesterday. He's making some changes for today, so we'll see if Slick can put that 64 up front. Corey Texter right there had a good start from the 2nd row and then faded a little bit. Another bike slowing on the front straightaway, 68 Ryan Barnes. Barnes slowing on the front straightaways. The white flag comes out. Barnes, if he has any luck, it's just bad luck this season. If he's not up front, he's having a mechanical, it seems like. Dallas Daniels goes to the top spot, the 32. A 36.633, now a 36.632 on that last lap. Daniels, the fastest so far in the only practice session for the Production Twins, and he won yesterday in his 3rd race on a Production Twin. And there's looking at the 31 Dylan Bell from Kansas, the 71 right behind him in tow. There's a couple Harley-Davidsons working together, do some drafting here coming off the 4th. Checkered flag is out. Right there, big people is a checkered flag. Again, 31 Bell, 71 Pat Buchanan, comes the 96 of Janish back there working with the 42 Jeremiah Duffy. Duffy in the 4th spot in this practice session. Dallas Daniels, head of the class, no surprise, 36.632. Janish 2nd, Chad Coase is 3rd. Jeremiah Duffy is 4th, and Ryan Barnes 5th before Ed Mechanic. All right, so while we get set to go with our 2nd practice group, I think Kristen Beats catching up with B-Rob, who finished on the podium yesterday. Kristen?
Yeah, I was actually surprised, and I don't know about you, Scotty. 2 big guys on the podium. Generally, these miles are so celebratory of the smaller racers. But something I noticed, Brandon, your tuck, you were kind of trying out different things in practice yesterday. Have you found a position that you're comfortable with on the bike, and is that something you were even focusing on?
More or less just making a couple of changes to the bike that we think we need to go in that direction to help calm it down, and so far it seems better. So yeah, right now it feels good. Track's awesome right now, and just having a lot of fun. Looking forward to the rest of the racing today.
When you mentioned calm the bike down, I know you were suffering from some head shake yesterday, even a little tail shake. I saw the bike dancing around quite a bit. As a rider, I mean, what can you do? Do you just hold on for life, or like what happens when you're out there?
Yeah, I mean, just you got to hold on, but not hold on too tight at the same time. So it definitely wears you out physically, but overall, you know, it wasn't unrideable either. So you know, we made the best of the situation, and like I said, just trying to do a little bit better today.
Looking at the track, what did you notice? Is it different from yesterday in any ways?
It just started off a lot better. Kind of starting off where it kind of took off in the semis yesterday, where it's got a lot of moisture and be able to ride a little higher. So right now the track's awesome. It's going to make into a really good race, pretty similar to yesterday, I think.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Brandon. Best of luck today.
B-Rob says might have just position on the bike a little bit different. It seemed like it got worse at the end of the main event when he's up in with the leaders and with all that turbulence. This is our second group right here of the Production Twins. The 117 is out there, Jordan Harris. The 99 should be fast. We'll keep our eyes also on the 13 of Morgan Mishler and the 94 of Ryan Wells. And there's Mishler right there. The 13 had a good run yesterday. Morgan Mishler on that 13 ended up second yesterday here on his Harley-Davidson. Got a ride with the Fancy Hines crew. He normally races the singles class. And there's Tanner Dean. He also had a top 5 yesterday on the 38. The 60s out there, Nick Armstrong. 117, Jordan Harris came up just short of making a top 10. Got 11th yesterday. So we'll see if these guys have made any changes to their motorcycles. The track looks really fast out here today. This is our only round of practice. Production Twins on the racetrack. The D machine leads the freight train down the front straightaway, and right behind him is the 13 of Morgan Mishler. The rest of the group over here, turns 1 and 2. Let's look at the 60 of Nick Armstrong. Right behind him is the 117 Jordan Harris, the RRCF Racing Iowa City break entry. Oh, Tanner Dean's got a lot of head shake down the back straightaway. Mishler's like, do I go below him? Do I go around him? He gets back in line. So. And then the D machine, they're just barely tiptoeing their left foot. The race line is way up the racetrack, very similar to where it was when we ended up yesterday. Another bike off the pace. Looks like the 99 of Kevin Stallings. Another rider, just like Kevin Barnes. If he has any luck at all, it's just bad luck. Stallings slows on the back straightaway. Back out in front, the 38 Tanner Dean goes way up high. Here comes Morgan Mishler, usually Mr. High, Wide, Handsome. The good thing about Mishler, he will never follow anybody unless he has to. He goes and looks for a new line, no matter if we're on a short track, a TT, or a mile, and he goes past Tanner Dean going into turn number 3. This is our last group of practice. After this, we'll take a quick break in the action, get set to go with our semifinals. These guys have to come right back out because their semifinals are up first, so it'll be a quick break and a quick turnaround for these Production Twins. Tanner Dean out there, the 38 bike is up in the 6th spot, also moving up a little bit. The 13 now up to 5th. In this practice session, Morgan Mishler finished 2nd yesterday. He's up to 5th right now. Trent Lowe's having a much better day today. He's 6th right now after he struggled yesterday. Didn't even make the main event. So the 48 trying to turn things around out here. Mishler and Tanner Dean looks like they're trying to work together a little bit. There goes the 60 by Nick Armstrong way up the racetrack. Nick is in the 12th spot right now in this practice session. Our former champion, our points leader, Corey Texter in that first group, he's dropped now to the 11th spot. As the white flag comes out in our final group of practice here today, Springfield Mile 2, the world's fastest dirt oval. One of the riders taking the very low line down here in turns 1 and 2. See if there's any moisture down there. Tanner Dean goes back to the high side. There goes Mishler. Mishler up there in 2nd, down the back straightaway. This is just practice. Guys in the truck are having some fun this early. I don't even know if the guys in the truck went to bed last night. They were in the truck when I got here, so I think they were locked in there all night. So 38 Tanner Dean's going to lead him off of 4 to the checkered flag. Here comes the 13 Morgan Mishler right behind them. Oh, head shake on the front straightaway. Looked like maybe the 133 David Wiggin out there was the 48 Trent Lowe. Fastest bike on the track in that group is the 38 Tanner Dean. Morgan Mishler was 6th. Trent Lowe back there in the 7th spot. Trent Lowe 7th. Ryan Barnes, again, he pulled off on the back straightaway, but he is 8th quick. Pat Buchanan doing double duty. He was 10th. Corey Texter is 11th. Nick Armstrong 12th. Again, that was our only practice session for today. They will line up into their semifinals of how they qualified yesterday. But here's a look at practice from today. Dallas Daniels at the top spot, 36.632. Jesse Janish behind him. Chad Coase 3rd. Jeremiah Duffy 4th. Tanner Dean was in that last group, gets up to 5th, and he brings with him Morgan Mishler. They kind of work together right there. They're 5th and 6th. Trent Lowe, a much better day, 7th. Ryan Barnes, again, pulled off in his practice group, but he was 8th quick. 9th quick is Dylan Bell. 10th is the 71, Pat Buchanan. The 11th is 65, Corey Texter. And speaking of Corey Texter, it's G&G Racing. Big G, the dad, it's his birthday today. He's 68, so he's celebrating. He would love to celebrate with a good, solid finish for the G&G Racing Yamaha. Corey Texter, that's his bike. He's 11th right now. Nick Armstrong is 12th. David Wiggin, 13th. That's a good run for him. It's only about his third race on that Harley. Danny Essig is 14th. Jordan Harris, Dan Bromley, Kevin Stallings, Shelby Miller is 18th. Gary Ketchum is 19th. So that's how they finish up here in practice. We are all done with practice here today. Up next, we'll have a short break, and then we'll come back with semifinals. And ladies and gentlemen, we've talked to Kristen Beat earlier today. Ricky Rackman, I think he's sleeping in today. So now joining me up in the booth, your former Grand National champion, still works for the Factory Indian team. He's up here in the booth with me. The Bullet, Brad Baker. Brad, good morning. Welcome back to Springfield.
Good morning, Scotty. Yeah, it's great to be here again at Springfield. I mean, not too many Mondays you get to spend at the racetrack,
Right.
So this Monday does not suck.
Exactly. It's early. We'll get everybody sent out here early back home, but let's talk Production Twins for just a second. How impressed, first off, Morgan Mishler up there running second, right behind Dallas Daniels, and then Chad Coase. So the podium finishers are singles riders in the top 3 spots in the Production Twins, but Dallas Daniels, his third go in the Production Twins class and his second win.
Definitely, and as I said yesterday, that I'm impressed but not surprised, just because I could tell just by the way Dallas has been riding the last couple years, and even as a kid, I mean, he can get on a tote goat and make it go fast. It's like he's kind of like a Kevin Atherton. Kevin Atherton always told me, it's like, hey kid, it got 2 wheels, set handlebars with an actuator on the end. It's like it's a motorcycle. Go ride it. And if you have that mentality, you're better off, because sometimes riders get too technical, or they think, oh, it's a twin, and they get in their own head. And like Dallas, he's like, yeah, I've been watching this, and it's a motorcycle. He hopped on it, and he's comfortable. And that's great to see, because that's going to carry him into his career, to where he's just not going to be thinking. He's just going to be going out there and riding the motorcycle. So, I mean, I think we could throw him out there in the premier class today, and he'd be a top 10 rider. So awesome to see, really cool. Then also Morgan Mishler doing really good too. I mean, he's kind of a little bit more of a slow starter on a twin, because he's been on a twin a few times, but it's cool to see him coming into his own now, and he's up to speed. He's looking good.
Absolutely. Let's check in again. That's the Bullet, Brad Baker. I'm Scotty Dubler. Let's check in down there trackside. Kristen Beat, what's going on today?
Well, thanks, Scotty, but I had noticed just a moment ago you said Ricky Rackman slept in. I think the only one on this team who slept in was actually you. You were the last one in the lobby. I saw Ricky Rackman earlier this morning, so for everyone at home on their keyboards who's typing away about Ricky Rackman, he's actually very busy. This guy's covering a fashion show for MTV tomorrow, so the last thing he's doing is sleeping in. He's on the road. He got to get out of here, but he wanted nothing more than to stay here for the final day of racing. Unfortunately, he's busier than all of us put together, so he's on his way up to New York.
Well, Kristen, there's one thing I'm not going to lie about. I love sleep, and I love sleeping in. And this is early morning to go racing, that's for sure. It's really early. I don't know how these riders are doing it. It's very early to be racing at 140 miles an hour, Brad.
For sure, they were here a lot earlier than I was. I mean, I showed up at 8 o'clock, and I was like, man, it's early. But luckily, some of them are actually sleeping here, because Breyer, I know him and Shanna have their camper right here out in the infield, and some of the others do as well. So that's actually very smart. If anybody went out partying last night, they're probably feeling it today, that's for sure.
Well, did you go out and party last night?
I had maybe a drink or two with friends. I mean, you come here to have fun, and I had my good friend Kevin Anderson and Jake Mattea. They took off this morning, so we hung out a little bit. But I was in bed by midnight, so that's not too bad.
Not midnight, and then we're back out here.
But I had to be up at 6.
You have to sleep fast.
Yeah, exactly. We'll sleep when we're dead, right?
That's right. Making some changes down there. Look at Cody Kopp.
Yeah.
Cody Kopp's got some head shake. He's not even riding.
Yeah, he's reenacting. That's one thing that's happening a lot here. Breyer and I, it's wild. It seems like the last 3 times that we've been here, more riders have been having head shake problems than we've ever seen in the past, and we've all been trying to wrap our head around, like, why? It's like I've had some bad head shake here before on a Ducati, but that was more with chassis setup and the bike not being necessarily developed where it needed to be at the time. But these motorcycles are, especially the Indians. But that goes to show that it probably is more rider and bike setup, because obviously some guys on Indians are going straight as an arrow and others aren't. So, yeah, it's interesting to see.
Let's go back to the pit area one more time. Kristen Bates got a fast guy down there struggling a little bit. Let's find out what's going on with the 20 bike.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Vanderkoy has not had very good luck here at the Springfield Mile thus far. Jared, you told me just a moment ago, we didn't fix it. We thought we might have had it, but it seems as though it's another electronic issue. What did it feel like on the bike to you?
Yeah, it just feels like it's on one cylinder, really. We threw a new brain in it, the ECU, and we threw a throttle position sensor in it, everything we could think of that we have in the truck, and, hey, we didn't fix it, so onto the backup bike we go.
So what does that mean as far as setup is concerned? Do you guys have to scramble to get the backup bike set up for the mile, or is it already set up with your preferences? How does that work?
Yeah, my mechanic, Jay Maloney's working his ass off right now. We're switching tires, switching wheels, gearing, suspension, everything we can to get it as close as the main bike as possible, so... Hey, we'll see how the semi goes. We get one more up lap, so let's get it on.
Guys, that is the unfortunate scenario here with the limited schedule and the limited track time, but Jared Vanderkoy going to do what he can with the time he has. Thanks, Jared.
Finding an electrical problem, Brad, sometimes it's just you got to hunt and peck, so maybe it's best to switch to the backup bike.
Yeah, you're just chasing gremlins at that point, and sometimes it'll fix itself for a moment and then it'll come back. So yeah, it's unfortunate that they weren't able to get that bike figured out, because it does suck when you have to switch from to another bike. I mean, even though you try to set them up as close as possible, sometimes there's just that one motorcycle that's everything is perfect, and it's hard to be able to get the backup bike to be the same. But I think with his team there, the Roof Systems of Dallas, Texas, and Jay Maloney, like you said, working his butt off, he's gonna get that thing set up, and he'll be back up front.
So practice is all done. We're using qualifying times from yesterday to get lined up for the semifinals. We get back on the track. Aft Production Twins semifinals coming up. We'll be right back to the Springfield Mile.
On Friday, October 8th, Charlotte NC is hosting an epic battle. American Flat Track returns to the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the 2021 season finale.
You see how bad these guys want it.
All the action, all the fun. This is a race you don't want to miss. The Charlotte Half Mile on October 8th at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Hey, is that your stomach growling? Or the sound of thousands of cc's circling the track? Fuel up for race day with Mission Foods. Rev those taste buds with fast and easy to create recipes that are Winner's Circle delicious. Try some of our mouth-watering tacos to piled high nachos, fresh chips with guac, and more. Start those engines, because Mission has you covered from the green flag to the checkered flag. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
We're the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. We understand the challenges riders face every day. As riders, we want to share the road and be seen by motorists. Remaining visible is critical to our safety and well-being. That's why we work tirelessly to promote motorcycle safety and awareness. We're proud to support our community that includes riders of all stripes. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Progressive insures over 5 million boats, motorcycles, and RVs throughout America. Get a quote in under 4 minutes at AmericanFlatTrack.com/progressive to see how much you could save.
The Rookies of '79 are former racers and champions of the sport who reunited in 2009 to form the official charity for American Flat Track. 10 years and over $1.7 million raised for our injured racers. Visit rookies79.com to see how you can help.
Born from the desire to inspire and create adventure and community, Super 73 is an electric bike brand fusing motorcycle heritage and youth culture. Founded in 2016 and based in Southern California, Super 73 has led the charge in pioneering a new approach to help redefine the electric bicycle industry by emphasizing thoughtful design, responsible manufacturing techniques, and local community engagement. The brand continually strives to grow and expand into a true industry leader. Visit super73.com for more information.
Tom Duma Fine Jewelers is proud to be the official jeweler for our 8th year to Progressive American Flat Track, providing championship rings for each class in 2021. TDFJ wants to be your jeweler. Check us out online for all your jewelry needs, from engagement rings to fashion jewelry to watches, in all price points to fit everyone's budget. Shop like a pro. Shop TDFJ.com. Race fans, VP Racing Fuels offers a full line of power sports fuels, lubricants, coolants, and appearance products for track and street. From pro racers to weekend warriors, we help riders make more power. Ask your local power sports dealer. Brought to you by Yamaha and its best-in-class lineup of power sports vehicles. For more information on how you too can experience the pinnacle of performance both on and off-road, visit YamahaMotorsports.com. Kicker Performance Audio is the official sound system of American Flat Track. Kicker's fully stocked line of products includes speakers, amplifiers, and subwoofers for your car and truck stereo systems, as well as those for your boat, side-by-side, and touring motorcycle. Kicker also makes Bluetooth outdoor speakers, over-ear headphones, and earbuds to pair with your favorite mobile device. To learn more or find a dealer, visit Kicker.com.
Explore the full Indian motorcycle lineup, including the all-new redesigned FTR with 17-inch wheels and street-tuned suspension, or the new generation of a classic, the 2022 Indian Chief. For more info and to schedule a demo ride, visit IndianMotorcycle.com. Always wear a helmet, never drink and ride.
Hi, I'm Miles Copeland, the General Manager and Managing Partner of Green Toyota, your local Toyota dealer since 1983 and a longtime sponsor of the Springfield Mile. First, to Dave and Tamara Keesaw, congratulations and thank you on your 40 years of commitment to the IMDA and the Springfield Mile. And to you, race fans, on behalf of Toyota, Toyota Racing Development, and all of us at Green, welcome to the fastest 1 mile in the country. Sit back, hang on, and enjoy the Springfield Mile.
And back at the state fairgrounds here, Springfield, Illinois. There's Abe Lincoln. He's got his mask on and he's been vaccinated. We saw that as we rolled into the fairgrounds. It's the Memphis Shade Springfield Mile presented by Law Tigers. Round number 13 of Progressive American Flat Track. Yesterday was round number 12. Let's take a look back at some of the action, Brad. It was a great day of racing, and the track was awesome, and the line went way up the racetrack. We saw a couple different lines. Here is the Mission Super Twins. Right here's the start, Brad. What do you see?
Watch J.D. Beach almost get the whole shot from the third row. I think that was the most impressive thing off the start.
He must have been watching Corey Texter.
Yeah, the Yamahas get off the line good. You see Brandon Robinson getting all sorts of head shake right away. A lot of riders were struggling with that yesterday, but yeah, there's about 5 of them.
Look at the head shake right there, Robinson.
For sure.
It's at the end of the straightaways.
And then he crouched to the hole, but Robinson, he's good. He rides a cushion track like a madman, so when he's doing that, he's comfortable.
I think that cost him maybe possibly the win right there. He struggled right there, come up that last corner. Breyer said there was a lot of contact yesterday and kind of cutting people off and stuff like that. Wasn't too happy on the podium before he got in here, Brad. We heard the video about that, and both of them had some stuff to say. There's the 32 Dallas Daniels grabbing the whole shot. Production Twins got it. Wild moment right there. You talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit of a wild moment. He started to change his line right at the end of the production main. It started to get dried out up top, and he dropped to the bottom, found a new line, and brought it home in dominant fashion. Cool to see. Morgan Mischler is hitting second. Then Chad Coast just gets by Janish for third. That would have been an awesome podium for Janish for the first time on a twin on a mile in quite a while.
Does it seem like the head shake is a little bit more, predominant right here on the Springfield Mile when the track is wetter?
It definitely seems like that when it's more, there's more grip on the track, coming onto the straightaways, because when the bike is hooked up, it makes the chassis flex a lot more. So when it starts that kind of wiggle, a harmonic coming off the corner, it kind of just, like I said, it's a harmonic. It just keeps on going. So then the rider, tends to grip onto the motorcycle more and maybe sits up a little bit more as well. And if your head gets hung up in the wind and you're kind of fighting the motorcycle and it starts that harmonic, it just kind of keeps it on going down the straightaway. So, definitely having, the wetter, more moisture and more traction, I definitely think creates that.
That's the look at the Smith pit area right here. It's Brian Smith's last race here at the Springfield Mile. That's what he says. He's going to retire. Let's take a look back at the start from the Insta360 camera, the official action camera of American Flat Track. And this is from Oh, this is looking back at JD Beach from the front row.
He has to weave through these guys here. He's like, I'm going this way.
Like threading the needle. That thing got off the line in a hurry. You said when the track was wetter, the Yamaha did better.
Definitely. When there's more grip, the Yamaha definitely does better. I mean, when there's when it's slick out, that the quick acceleration and the little inertia that the engine has definitely makes it harder to put the power to the ground. But when there's a lot of grip out there, then everybody's more on the same playing field.
Inches apart, over 100 miles an hour. There's no other feeling like this in the world.
No, there isn't. I mean, it's cool. It's kind of like ballet at 100+ miles per hour, really, and you're threading the needle side by side. But these riders, I mean, we've all raced together since we were kids, a lot of them at least, and you definitely have to have a lot of trust in one another. Yeah, that's an awesome angle there. You can see Sammy trying to get his foot up on the peg as quick as he can. The quicker you get your foot up on the peg, the more traction you're going to get.
Here's Breyer taking a look at the inside. Somebody just used the draft pass going in by the 95 right here, who riding on board. This camera is really clear. It looks like, man, if you know any better, you're looking at your own eyes, looking backwards off the bike. I mean, look how clear this is.
It is. It's really cool. You can see how Breyer had that lower line coming off turn 4. Didn't quite have the run that he needed, and then now he goes up to the top.
Different lines. You can see all the different lines. It was a lot wetter at the end of the day than I thought it was when I walked across the track. You got to ride around the track. We'll talk about that later on, but you got to ride around the track. What was that? Man, so close. The 44 came right there at you.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of ripples out there, actually, especially going into turn 1. It was kind of like wavy ripples going into turn 1. And turn 3 and 4 was actually what we thought was pretty rough. I was like, man, it was more of the smoother type of the smoother part of the racetrack, but I could see why those guys are going up the racetrack more, because it was actually smoother the quicker or the further you got up the racetrack.
Look at that little guy right there. How you doing, bud? Hey, man, have some fun here at the Springfield Mile. I like it too. So we're having some fun out here today. Let's check in. I think Kristen Beat actually caught up with Sammy to find out what went wrong yesterday.
Sammy Halbert with 4 to go at the Springfield Mile. Had to have been so disappointing. For a while there, you were up front, but what happened mechanically?
Yeah, such a bummer. I felt like I was just starting to kind of figure it out. I was I think in 4th with the lead draft there, and I'm kind of just starting to find a way to work for me. I think we missed the setup just a little bit, so it took like everything I had. But I was just starting to get going, and then it just lost power. Like going across the line just went bah type of thing. So electrical issue, but we got it sorted, so we should be good today and try and get some redemption out there.
A lot of riders were struggling with very heavy head shake. I'm not sure if you were suffering from the same thing, but what can you tell us about the track out there and maybe the bike setup that's causing that this year?
Yeah, the head shake was really bad. Like, I had it really bad last year as well. We put a steering dampener on for this year, and it didn't seem to help. I feel like it could be something to do with the new front tires and the tread pattern. I have a suspicion that could be playing a factor, so I need to speak with Dunlop on that. But it's so hard to tell. Yeah, it's just it's one of those things. It's not fun. Mine was shaking pretty bad. I was double fisting it down the straightaway, both hands on the bars, not taking one off, and it's a little wild. It's a long race to hold on to it shaking for that long.
Thanks so much, Sammy.
Sammy had a little bit of a head shake. If you remember last year, Brad, he pulled off. You know, he won the first day we were here last year, then pulled off with head shake issues last year. So what'd you take from that interview?
Yeah, it says a lot of Sammy Halbert's pulling off, you know, if it's that bad. I mean, it's not, it's scary, head shaking at over 100 miles per hour and having the death grip the bike for that long. It's very tiring. But as you're talking about the tires, you know, like the Dunlops, you ever ride them on asphalt? Like I've rode my flat track bike up and down the road before, and you get up to about 70 miles per hour, and the thing will start head shaking big time. And it's really because these tires, you know, they're not meant for on asphalt and going that fast and that hard of a surface. You know, they're for dirt, and they actually start to like flex and give some, and that's why, like, when you ride them on asphalt, it head shakes big time. And this racetrack being so fast and being so hard, it kind of creates that same harmonic as if you're racing on asphalt. So that could definitely be a reason why. Like, that's a good point that Sammy made, that switching to a new tire, you know, maybe is having even more so of an issue than the old one. So definitely something to look into. But yeah, don't try riding an asphalt or a dirt track bike fast on the asphalt, because it's scary.
Yeah, you definitely feel it.
Yeah. I was breaking in my XR to come here for the 2013 Springfield mile, and I was riding it up down a country road, breaking it in, and I got up I was going about 80 miles per hour, and the thing started head shaking, and I thought I wasn't going to hold on to it, and I was only in a helmet and street clothes.
That would not be fun.
No, so definitely don't want that to happen, and so hopefully today these guys can get everything figured out and we don't have nearly as much issues with head shake.
There's your father-in-law.
Yeah, there's Mike. What's happening, Mike? James Hart right behind him. He builds all the race engines on these bikes, so that bike was fast yesterday. You could tell that he had a horse underneath him, and it's all thanks to him. He's one of, if not the hardest working man I know.
So Dallas Daniels has had a strange week, to say the least. Let's take a look back at what's been going on with the 32 Dallas Daniels. Over the jump, that's the first first time over the jump, and the grass was wet. He hits the ground real hard. Here's crash number 2.
Man, that was a scary one.
Ouch, man.
He just pulled up to get a tear off, and it's kind of the same way there, where they had a little bit of ruts and hooked up, and then he comes back here at Springfield Short Track on Friday night.
Bruner goes up the inside, and they collect each other. It gets collected by the 21, and then he wins and gets 2 wins. Actually, that was the same night after hitting the ground. So he told me yesterday that his right side was hurting after hitting down the short track. The left side was hurting, and then he comes back and wins. So he's got 3 wins already this weekend.
Yeah, that's awesome. For him to be able to bounce back like that, this shows his resilience and not letting things get in his head. You got to just go like every race, put whatever the last race behind you, and go out and do it again.
Talking things over right now. Production Twins are coming up next. The Aft Production Twins will have 2 semifinals. The top 8 will make it to the main event. And let's check in again with Kristen Beach. She's got some more info on Dallas Daniels.
Yeah, as these bikes get ready to hit the track, I sometimes forget just how young Dallas Daniels is. Guys, he is 18 years old. Do you remember what you were like at 18? You were going to high school football games. You were traveling only on vacation with your families. This kid is traveling every single weekend, living out his dream. And something that we also tend to forget is these are big milestones for Dallas Daniels. This is the first time that he's ever raced a twin on a mile track. The speeds that he's reaching, the first time he's ever been up there, and he has been handling it like an absolute pro. I said yesterday when he pulled off that win, he put on a master class in mile racing, and it's just so impressive what he's capable of at such a young age.
Absolutely. I don't remember what I was doing when I was 18, but it wasn't anything like what Dallas Daniels is doing. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can't say the same because I was. Right. I almost won Springfield mile when I was 18. I went home to graduate. So he's reminding me a lot of myself, which is awesome, and I really see him. He'll be a Grand National champion. Grand National champion meaning Grand National champion.
If he sticks around in American Flat Track, doesn't go road racing or something like that?
He said he didn't want to, and that makes me feel good as well, because I was a rider that, hey, I want to be a Grand National champion in dirt track, and that's what he says. He wants to stay in dirt track. That's his roots, and I think it'll pay off for him. American Flat Track, I feel, is going places.
How about Big P out there? He took on the water truck and won. Now he's going to be our flag man. So Big P, hats off to you, sir. 32, Dallas Daniels will be on the pole. 25, Ben Lau will start second. 71, Pat Buchanan will start third. Danny Essick will be the last bike on the front row on the 64. Row 2, 65, Corey Texter. 96, Jesse Janish. 117, Jordan Harris. 60, Nick Armstrong. Row 3, 94, Ryan Wells on that KTM. 15, Gary Ketchum. And the 45, Shelby Miller. The top 8 going directly to the main event. The rest of them are done until next weekend. We go to Sacramento, California.
Going the Sac Mile, heck, it's pretty cool. Those are 2 of my favorite racetracks to go to, is Springfield and Sacramento, and they're back-to-back.
Lining them up again. The Production Twins will have the black number plates with the white numerals. They're on track first today. Production Twins, 8-lap semifinal, top 8 to the main event. So 3 of these riders will possibly be done for the day. Here we go. It's race time in Springfield. That's a great shot right there. Essick poised and ready to go. The luck clutches are coming out. Essick trying to lead him into the first corner. Dallas Daniels from the outside. It is going to be slick into turn number 1. Here comes Pat Buchanan in second.
Yeah, good start by Pat. Not a good start by Dallas Daniels. He looked like he missed a shift on the outside and got shuffled back.
He dropped to the bottom of the racetrack. Daniels on the 32s back there in about the 6th position as he drops back here. They come down the back straightaway. They're all in line. It's a freight train. Who's going to the point? Here comes Jesse Janish on the 96 from the second row, trying to lead him into turn 3 and takes the lead. The 96, Vance Hines Harley out in front.
Yeah, Janish was looking strong in practice. I was watching him, and he looks really comfortable. See what he's able to do today.
96 will lead him down the front straightaway. Corey Texter's kind of back in about the 6th spot. Our points leader. Here comes Jordan Harris up the inside of C-Tex.
It looks like. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was an awesome pass by Dallas Daniels. He had like a quadruple draft. He was in about 4th or 5th and swung way to the bottom. But then the Holly Hot Rod just went right up the inside of him.
Dallas with a terrible start right here. Look at it in the big box. He gets a horrible start and then misses the shift. Just like you said right there, the front wheel came up and he had to let off. Maybe missed that shift, but he's working his way towards the front as he's trying to keep Jesse Janish in his sights. Janish trying to break away and pull away. A big group from the, looks like second, maybe 3rd back to 8th right now, Brad.
Definitely, they're all pretty close together. You see Shelby Miller back there, 45, trying to hang on. But look at Dallas Daniels, drops all the way to the bottom, cuts off some real estate, gets right on the back tire of Jesse Janish. See if he's able to get the draft down the back straightaway here.
Off of turn number 4, Janish was breaking the draft. Dallas Daniels, he's tracking him down slowly but surely. Looks like he's caught him into turn number 3. Daniels up the inside. The 32 goes to the lead.
Yeah, that was executed perfectly. Just going into the corner. Now let's see if he's able to get enough gap on Jesse. Jesse looks like he's going to have a good draft pass possibly going into turn 1 here.
Dallas Daniels out front from Matt Toon, Illinois, will lead Janish into turn 1. Looks like he left it on a little bit longer going into turn 1. Janish right there in tow. He's kind of going to school.
We were talking about that Stauffer Motors horsepower there. He didn't have anything for him to be able to draft by going into 1.
Sure did. Corey Texter put himself up into the 4th spot now, so Corey's making his way towards the front. Look at Janish on the Bates and Hines Harley going up the inside. He'll try the low line. Daniels goes back to the high side where they're running yesterday. Janish run the bottom of the racetrack trying to slide up in front of the 32. And he makes the pass. Janish out in front. Look at him pulling way back. That looked like you when you would push the handlebars way out front and slide back. That looked just like you.
Yeah, you can. This, if you extend your arms and roll your shoulders back, I mean, that's good for another 30, 40 pounds to get, you know, the weight back on the rear tire and almost preload the suspension a little bit too.
How about a shout out to the 117 Jordan Harris? Had to use a provisional yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe
yes, he
so.
did, and now he's up here in 3rd. He's marched his way through the field. He's 3rd right now, just goes by the points leader, and Corey Texas goes right back by him. But Jordan Harris having much better today so far early on Springfield Mile 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Heath Racing builds that motorcycle out of Iowa. He spends a lot of time in the fab shop working on that bike. It's probably going to feel good for them to get a good result.
River Rat Cycle Fabrications, I'm not mistaken, RRCF Racing, Iowa City Break on that 117 bike.
Awesome, okay.
That's it. That is Heath. You're right.
Yep, that's what I thought. I follow him on Facebook, and I'm always looking at the bikes, and he does a good job. It's a beautiful motorcycle.
The shop was underwater 2 years ago. It's amazing they were even able to compete.
For sure. That's lots of flooding in the Midwest here lately. It sucks.
32 out in front. Dallas Daniels, Jesse Janish trying to keep him honest right there in 2nd. Corey Texter, Jordan Harris, Ben Lau, Pat Buchanan's back to 6th. Nick Armstrong Eslick is right now on the bubble. Here they come down the front straightaway. 32 out front, Dallas Daniels. Corey Texter looks like he's by himself now in the 3rd spot, so that's going to leave 4 riders to battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Man trying to make his way in there right now. Shelby Miller's the odd man out. Danny Eslick's in the last transfer spot as they run right now. Next time by, they'll pick up the white flag.
Yeah, Dallas has been able to put his head down a little bit, taking a little bit of an outside line, way outside, but look at Janish trying to cut off as much real estate to catch up to him, but run that outside line, it gives you a little bit more momentum through the center of the corner and getting off, and you can start to pick up that momentum and build off of it.
Big P throwing the white flag right here. You can see how fast they're going when they go by the start finish line. Here comes Pat Buchanan. He's rising to the occasion on the 71 bike. Maybe he's found a new line. One rider goes way up to the hay bales down here. They got the air fence in most of it, but we used to call it the hay bales, but one rider's trying that high line. That's a 25.
See how close Pat Buchanan gets to the wall up there too. These guys just try to let the bike be as free as they can and not let it get out of shape and do what it wants.
So smooth, so effortlessly riding the 32. Now he tucks in and drafts. Now he's riding a little bit harder right there. But coming to the checkered flag, Dallas Daniels wins semifinal number 1. Janish is 2nd. Corey Texter is 3rd. Here comes the 117. He won't have to use a provisional because you only get 1. So the 117 of Jordan Harris, he punches his ticket to the main event. And the rest of the bikes are coming across the line. Looks like Eslick will get that last transfer spot. Pat Buchanan finishes right in front of him. So Shelby Miller, Kerry Ketchum, and Ryan Wells are all done. Didn't see Ryan Wells out there. He's not listening to any laps. So something definitely went wrong with the KTM. There's a look at your results. Dallas Daniels taking the win over Jesse Janish, Corey Texter, Nick Armstrong, Jordan Harris with the top 5. Ben Lau, Pat Buchanan, like I said, Danny Eslick gets that last transfer spot. They had kind of broken away from everybody else.
Yeah, they definitely did. And you were saying how smooth that Dallas Daniels was, and I was watching him that last corner, and we were also talking earlier about how you got to get your foot up on the peg as early as possible, gets more traction in the rear wheel, and usually settles a motorcycle. He had his foot up like halfway through the corner.
Is that road racing experience?
It's road racing experience, and just what we were talking about, just being comfortable. I mean, if he's able to get his foot up on the peg, that means that the bike is handling well and he's comfortable. And you know, JD is another one that's good at it, and that could definitely be a road racing experience. They practice like that a lot, riding with your feet up, because it's it's definitely important to be able to do.
Let's get ready to check in with our semifinal winner. He's talking to James Hart right now. Take that helmet off, climb off that motorcycle. Here's Kristen Beat with your semifinal winner.
Yeah, as Dallas is unbuckling his helmet and these Production Twins bikes in the second group are heading out on track. We'll let them pass so Dallas can hear what we're talking about for a moment here, just in a second. Dallas, during that race, off to a delayed start. You also missed a shift, it looked like. When you missed a shift, was that mechanical or rider error?
No, it was just a rider error. We got a GP shift set right now, and I was just missed a few downshifts, and it was actually kind of good because I came from the back and was able to kind of practice my drafting. I haven't drafted much on these Twins, and it definitely drafts a little different. So, no, it was good. The bike's handling real well. We had a little problem after qualifying that we had to fix right before the semi, and all hands were on deck, and the team was working really hard, and I'm really happy we could get out there and get back in the win the semi.
Well, Dallas, best of luck. I also have to ask you really quick, this is the first time I've seen this on a helmet. You're actually one of the few riders that I've noticed wearing this. This has to do with aero, but why elect to wear this?
Really, it just helps keep your head straight. Arai came out with this. This is what the MotoGP guys run on their helmets overseas. And it basically just helps keep your head straight so your head's not moving down the straightaway and you can see better.
Very cool. I love new tech features. What do you think, Scotty?
Absolutely. They tried that out at Indy last year, and it seems to be working. Looks like Dallas is using it. Not very many riders are. It is also meant to break off if they do fall down. It just pops off the back of the helmet. Semi-final number 2 is already on the line. 49, Chad Coase. 42, Jeremiah Duffy. 68, Ryan Varnes. 62, Dan Brumley. Row 2, 31, Dylan Bell. 13, Morgan Mishler. 99, Kevin Stallings. 38, Tanner Dean. So a couple fast guys on row number 2. And back on row number 3, 133, David Wiggin and Trent Lowe, who practiced much better today back there on the third row, number 48. Here we go. Semi-final number 2. It is your Aft Production Twins presented by Vance & Hines Class. Chad Coase on the outside. What's he got to do to win this one?
Got a good start and just put his head down. He was able to pull away yesterday. We'll see if he's able to do it again.
Varnes grabs the whole shot. The front wheel's coming up. It's not going to slow him down. He's going to lead in the first corner. Bromley on the inside, the 62. Varnes pulled off in practice earlier today. I don't know if you saw that or not, Brad, but Varnes he practiced very well, but then parked it on the back straightaway.
Yeah, it's too bad to see. Ryan Varnes was always fast in pretty much every weekend, but had just mechanical gremlins after mechanical gremlins. Hopefully that doesn't strike him here today.
The 13, Morgan Mishler, making his way towards the front, dropping to the bottom of the racetrack. The fast line's up on the high side, but the 13 is trying to low line. Like we've always said, he never follows anybody unless he has to.
Yeah, as the day went on yesterday, Morgan just got faster and faster, and same here today. So I don't think Chad's going to be able to blitz away with these guys with the experience and speed that they picked up.
Chad Coase in the lead by about a half a bike length. Varnes is there on the 68. Here comes the 13 of Morgan Mishler behind him. The 42, Jeremiah Duffy. Bromley slides back to 5th. Here comes Tanner Dean, though, and now Trent Lowe shoving his way up there towards the front pack.
Yeah, Jeremiah Duffy was looking really good in the late main event yesterday. Look at him all the way down the low line, cuts off a bunch of real estate. That worked out really well for him.
It's a good ride again. Find something different down the front straightaway. The 49 out front, Chad Coase. 68 Varnes there. Looks like he's trying to get up out of the way, going to the high line. Yeah, Varnes off the pace again. Varnes, bad luck. Gremlins bite him again. He is off the pace and up against the air fence. Another bad go and bad luck for the 68 coasting down there through 1 and 2. Tough break for Revin Ryan Varnes again. If he doesn't have any luck, it's bad luck. That's all he's got. Here's the replay. You can see, I saw him look like about right here. He puts his hand up here. Everybody makes evasive action. That is scary, Brad.
Yeah, that's really scary. It's not good when it happens like that, and luckily it wasn't that bad of mechanical failure. If the bike ever locks up in front of riders like that, it can be really bad.
And he took his left hand off, and there's another bike slowing on the back straightaway too. I believe that might be the 99 of Stallings. He also had mechanical in practice. So the 99 and the 68 are off the track, but he put his left hand up, so that means the bike was still kind of moving. Somehow, nobody ran into the back of him.
Yeah, thank God nobody did. And Yeah, it's hard for these guys. I mean, a lot of them are just privateers, and they're mom and pop teams that are working on the bikes, rebuilding the engines, and just doing everything they can. Look at Duffy, pulled a tear off right in the middle of the corner there. That shows that he must not have very good vision if he's pulling one in the middle of the corner.
Here comes the 38 Tanner Dean going by the 62, and also keeping up with this lead group is the 48 Trent Lowe. Right now, Dylan Bell and David Wiggett trying to punch his ticket. That's the 8 bikes that are running, so those are the 8 that are going to make the main. Now they're racing for the top 2 spots to make it into the Babe to May Challenge, which is 4 laps. And again, thanks to Memphis Shades to honor the late Babe to May. We're going to do that again a little bit later on. $5 grand for that race coming up here in just a little bit. So the 8 bikes that are still going are the 8 bikes punch their ticket to the main.
Yeah, it's awesome that Memphis Shades did that for these production guys. I mean, that's a big paycheck for them.
I did see Babe's widow out front. She gave me a great big hug. She said, thanks for everything we did up here, Brett. She said, tell you thanks too. 13 going up the inside. Here comes the 49. 49 holds it on a little bit longer. Hey, Brad, you're smiling.
Yeah, sorry. I've been serious here. Sorry. Thanks, Brad. For the laugh. Yeah, look at it. I thought Chad Coast was starting to get away from these guys, and now they're sinking right back on him. Tanner Dean's staying there as well. Kawasaki Racing Unlimited. Alan Roddenborn building that motorcycle as it's getting super sideways coming off the 4.
But they're all in line right now coming off for turn number 4. Here they come to the start-finish line, still out front. It is the 49, Chad Coast. Jeremiah Duffy was in second last time by. Now Morgan Mishler's there. Duffy goes way high. Going in turn 1, that's your line.
Yeah, go away around the top, keep it on the gas, and yeah, keep up as much momentum as you can. Worked out not quite for him because Tanner Dean's getting a good run up the inside.
Tanner Dean down the back straight of the 38, back there in the 3rd spot. Here comes the 13, Morgan Mishler looking for the lead. Up the inside, Mishler to the lead on the bottom of the racetrack. Look at how far he dove into turn number 3.
I don't know if Chad was really expecting that. He's been leading here for the last 5 laps or so, and Morgan got in there to surprise him. If he's not careful, Tanner Dean's going to get by him as well.
White flag coming out. Dean's got a little bit of a head shake. He lets off, gets back in line. Now Chad Coast goes out front. White flag, lap 1 to go. Around the outside, here comes Mishler, the 13. He goes back by the 49 of Chad Coast. The Dean machine gets a little bit sideways. Here comes Jeremiah Duffy right there. He might be in the catbird spot.
Yeah, Tanner Dean, pulling out to the inside of these guys coming off the corner. It's not exactly what I want to do. You want to stay in behind them and get the grab.
Here they go. 38, 49, 13, and the 42 coming at you. To the checkered flag, the 13 bike out in front. Can he win semifinal number 2? Look how close they are. Mishler's going to lead him off of 4. Here
Look
comes
at Tanner
38.
Dean, he's going to take it.
And right behind him on his heels was the 49 of Chad Coast. It is Tanner Dean, your winner.
That's
Good call,
awesome.
Brad. Dean taking the win. 13 Mishler second. 49 Chad Coast, who led almost every lap. 42 Jeremiah Duffy is 4th. 5th is the 48 of Trent Lowe. 62 the 31, and David Wiggin getting that last transfer spot right there. Again, the top 8 going to the main. Here's take a look at the replay. This is Mishler going to the lead. Watch how far he dives off into turn number 3.
Yeah, Chad shuts down, and Morgan leaves it on another 10 feet or so and just gets by him. I mean, that's a good run. I mean, you could do that on the last lap. You could be able to lead to the stripe. And Tanner Dean plays this perfectly here in the draft. As I was just saying, he didn't play the draft earlier. You see him already pulling the inside. Gets a little bit of a head shake and just brings it home.
He wins by 0.039 seconds, and Mishler gets second by 0.025 seconds over Chad Coast. Jeremiah Duffy is 4th. He's up there. He's going to be a contender today. The 48 Trent Lowe had a much better run. He finishes up 5th. Behind him is the 62 of Dan Bromley in 6th. Dylan Bell 7th. David Wiggin gets that last transfer spot. And again, nothing but bad luck for the 68 of Varnes. His day is done because I believe he's already used his provisional.
Tanner must have been listening to me or something. I was just bagging on his drafting skills, and then he pulled it off right at the line.
Let's check in with Kristen Beat with your semifinal winner.
Yeah, Tanner Dean. I mean, don't blink in that final lap. And I just asked him when he pulled up, I said, "But where did you come from?" And I like his response.
Like I said, I came from too far back. I didn't get the best start, and I just had to pick people off one by one. By the time I got to Chad and Merg, it was kind of a battle. I was trying to learn from them a lot because I know they're more experienced than I am on this, so I was kind of sitting back and waiting for the white flag. I didn't want to lead coming off the final corner because I knew them two would have drafted me to the line, so I just kind of played my part and went to the high line most of the time, just try to ride around the top and find where the moisture's at. So I'm glad we're coming out here and competing with these guys. I can't thank Alan enough. He's been giving me a really awesome bike. So hopefully we can do this in the main.
Tanner, best of luck, and it was fun watching you slice and dice with those guys. Tanner Dean's first start on the Production Twins bike this season.
Slicing through him right here off of turn number 4 to that checkered flag. A nice run right there. Looks like he said he didn't want to lead him coming off the last corner. Bikes are already pulling up to the line. Mission Super Twins presented by SNS Cycle. Semi-final number 1 on the pole. Ringleader, now the FBI, Jeffrey Carver Jr., Godfrey, Illinois. 20 bike, Jared Vanderkoy. 67, Davis Fisher. 92, Brandon Price. Row 2, 69, Sammy Halbert. 95, J.D. Beach. 27, Robbie Pearson, and the 59 of Hayden Gillum. So 2 riders from Illinois in this one. That's the 27 and the 23. The FBI in full effect in this one. Brad, semifinal number 1. It's the premier class, Mission Super Twins. Here we go.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a barn burner. I mean, Jeffrey Carver had a little bit of mechanical yesterday. See these guys, I think it's going to be a great race.
Line him up, watching for the green light, see if Vanderkoy can keep his bike together. Had 2 mechanicals, 1 yesterday, 1 earlier in practice.
Look at JD from the back row again.
Man, he's trying to get the whole shot, King. He heard we had an award out there for him.
I almost thought he was going to, but Jeffrey Carver snags it. Davis Fisher and Brandon Price right behind him.
Here we go, down off of turn number 2. Here comes the 92 Brandon Price. On social media, he posted that he's on his B bike.
Yeah, they had a little bit of mechanical issues yesterday. Ooh, they 2 teammates get close together. Brandon really didn't know that he was there.
Brandon came up there, almost touches the 20 bike of Jared Vanderkoy. Jeffrey Carver's going to lead him off at turn number 4. Right behind him, here comes the teammates, the 20 bike of Vanderkoy, the 92 Brandon Price. Look at the speed shot right here. That's what it feels like when they go by you.
Definitely. Sammy's kind of buried in the pack here. He's going to have to get by these guys quick, not let them get away.
Jeffrey Carver Jr., first time we've seen him this year. He was scheduled to race Du Quoin, rained out, which was your wedding day. So he didn't miss anything, but we didn't get to see him race either.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the Du Quoin mile got rained out. It would have been cool to see everybody race there, but Jeffrey definitely hasn't skipped a beat. He's been on a motorcycle, and he knows how to go faster on the Springfield mile.
So Sammy Halbert's the first rider that's not with the lead group. He's going to see what he can do to track down these top 3. Carver, Vanderkoy, Price, 1, 2, and 3 into turn number 1. Looks like they're starting to close in on that lead group. 3 of them trying to break away. It's Carver. He's trying to drift up the racetrack. Price goes around the outside. New leader, the 92.
Yeah, Price didn't look like he shut it down very much there and just kept it around the outside. Carried as much momentum as he possibly can.
Can these Super Twins go flat out wide open all the way around?
They can. There's not quite enough grip right now. I mean, you could really run it around, wide open, but you'd just be spinning the tire, not going forward. You got to let out the throttle some, let the wheel spin calm down, and try to keep your wheels in line a little bit more.
Sammy Halbert's caught the lead draft. He leads, goes by Vanderkoy. Now he's got the leaders right in his sights. Fisher dropping to the bottom of the racetrack. He's trying the low line down here in 1 and 2. It's Jeffrey Carver Jr. These bikes are twitching just a little bit in the corner.
Yeah, you can see how the bike, this rider is just sitting up on top of the bike and trying to get the power of the ground, and that's just the twitching as you can see as the rider is trying to finesse to get the power of the ground.
Sammy Halbert focused in on the leaders right now. It's Jeffrey Carver Jr., 92 Brandon Price, Sammy Halbert, Jared Vanderkoy. Looks like whatever gremlins he had yesterday and earlier, they've got him figured out. It's 92 trying to draft by the leader into turn number 1. Price goes up the inside, takes the lead away. Carver squares off the corner. Nice move.
Yeah, that was a great move, Carver. That he's done that line before where he gets a turn quick, comes in high, gets a turn quick, and just carries so much speed from the center of the corner.
Carver leads him down the back straightaway, tucked in and drafted. Here comes Sammy Halbert, a little bit of head shake right there at the end of the straightaway. He had that double draft in the lead. Sammy Halbert out front, race fans.
Yeah, Sammy to the front. He took him a little while to get going, but now he's back up front where he needs to be.
Looks like he got his tire situation fixed maybe. No, not as much head shake right now.
Yeah, not nearly as much. The track is getting harder and more consistent what it was yesterday. That'll definitely help with the head shake as well.
A couple of guys trying the low line just to see what they can do right now, and that's Vanderkoy. Sammy Halbert can lead him off at turn number 2. Carver in second, Price, and then Vanderkoy. So the 2 teammates right there are 3rd and 4th. Again, top 2 will make it into that mission challenge. Sammy Halbert, Jeffrey Carver, Price, and Vanderkoy, your top 4 spots. The fastest lap's been Sammy Halbert at 36.371. His last lap at 36.491. Here they come down the front straightaway.
Sammy's able to lead to the start-finish no problem, so that might be where he wants to be, is just lead off of 4, knowing that he can lead to the stripe.
And that's what they're testing right now, right?
Yeah, to see where you need to be. Sammy got a lot sideways there. Price was around the outside like he was before, as he's getting quite a bit of head shake. Wow.
Man, Price had to reach up with his left hand right there and try to hang on to it. He goes up the racetrack. Carver goes to the very bottom of the racetrack. I don't think I've seen anybody that low yet.
No, he tried it out, but I think Price has the best line around the outside. I mean,
whoa!
Man, their lines come together. That was wild. That's what's hard about that, you know, one running all the way high and the other one running all the way low, is that they come together right there on the front straightaway.
Man, that was scary right there. I'm sure their heart rates went up, because mine did. I think my heart skipped a beat or two right there.
Mine too, for sure.
Off the turn number 2, down the back straightaway there. 4 riders going for the top 2 spots. Last lap.
Man, handlebar to handlebar all the way down the back straightaway.
Sammy Halbert trying to lead it. Carver drops to the bottom of the racetrack one more time. He's going to try to slide up right in front of him. I don't know if anybody's going to give him any room. Here they come. Carver slides into 3rd. Off of 4, the drag race to the finish line. Slamming. Sammy Halbert's going to lead him all the way to the line. He pulls way to the bottom. That was a different move.
Way different. You can see his line going all the way to the bottom. I mean, you're not going to be able to get the draft for if he's going like that.
69 Sammy Halbert, a 20 of Van de Kooi punched their ticket to the Mission Challenge. 92 Price will settle for 3rd. Carver goes back to 4th. JD Beach is 5th. Davis Fisher 6th on the 67. Robbie Pearson is 7th. And 59 Hayden. We got to take some look at some replays. This was a wild one, folks. We heard some handlebars and handlebars. This is coming to the white flag. Carver goes up the racetrack trying to get that line. Goes up there and touches the 92 of Price. That is so scary.
Yeah, I mean, that lower line, I mean, it's, I mean, Carver didn't mean to do it, but you don't get nearly as much momentum coming off the bottom, and it just came together like that.
This is the finish line.
Yeah, look at Sammy just beelining towards the bottom. I mean, and he wasn't swerving, and he was making a good line, but it makes it really hard to be able to draft somebody when they pull to the bottom like that.
And you're allowed one move off of turn 2 and off of turn 4, correct?
Yes, you are allowed one move, and he only made one move, and it was way down to the bottom. I mean, Jared Van de Kooi tried to pull to the outside, but wasn't quite enough.
Let's hear from our winner, Sammy Halbert with Kristen B.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Sammy, congratulations on the semi-win. You'll now advance to Mission Challenge, but I have to ask you, out of your peripheral, were you able to see what was going on with Jeffrey Carver, and did that scare you at all?
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I mean, props to Jeffrey for getting out here and riding with us. It's cool to have him back, but you know, there's plenty of space out there to look around and see like who's where, and so maybe he needs to pay a little more attention and not run into guys coming on the straightaway, because that wasn't too cool. But yeah, checked up and brought home the win, so stoked for that. The Cool Beth Nala Racing Elkhart Indian motorcycle at White Plains Castrol FTR 750 is running so good. We ended up having to switch bikes today from the issue we had yesterday, but all girls treating me good so far, and looking forward to the main.
The old girl. Sammy, well done. We'll see you in that Mission Challenge. And guys, as I said yesterday, Sammy's my bet for today. He was my bet yesterday due to a mechanical, but we'll see what he has for today.
Let's take another look at the replay. Coming to the white flag, Carver drops to the bottom of the racetrack and drifts up into the racing line. That's where you're trying to be at, Brad, but a little contact right there with the 92.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of ran out of room, but, you know, taking that lower line when there's a bunch of people there, you know, you kind of got to expect that you're going to come into them like that. So, and it's not faster either, you know, you're not getting the momentum in the drive coming off the corner. So, but he tried it, and, you know, you learn, and it's, unless there's a lot of grip down there later on, I think running around the top and just keeping your momentum up is the best call.
Last qualifying race of the day, semifinal number 2. Breyer's moving around just a little bit. 44, Brandon Robinson. 9, Jared Meese. 36, Colby Carlisle got a top 5 yesterday. 37, Bronson Bauman. Row 2, the 43, James Rispoli. The 1, Breyer Bauman. 71, Pat Buchanan. And the 4, Brian Smith. It looks like they all lined up in the wrong spot. Maybe it's because the 44 picked the outside. Maybe it's because they changed the starting lineup from what it was yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not sure. These guys like, hey, I don't care where I start. We're all going to be going into turn 1. I mean, it's consistent top to bottom, but.
Here we go, 44 on the outside. He's your pole setter. Semifinal number 2, last qualifying race of the weekend here at the Springfield Mile. Bronson on the inside. Colby Carlisle right there in the 36. It's a drag race in the first corner. Bronson looks like he's going to lead him into the turn number 1. Here comes Jared Meese on the high side.
Yeah, great hole shot by Bronson. Breyer got a good hole, you know, start off the back. He's all the way up to 4th.
Look at Robinson dropping to the bottom. Got a terrible start. He's trying to come up the inside, trying to get up there into maybe the 2nd spot. Now he ducks into the 2 spot. Here comes the 43 of Spoli. Breyer back there in the 4th position. Here they come into turn number 3. It is Meese out front.
Yeah, Robinson really cut off a lot of time going to the bottom. and able to get himself up in the second. That was impressive.
He's going to try that low line on the 71. He's got himself an Indian to ride for today. Down the front straightaway, the 9, Jared Meese out in front. It's a big drag race right here. 8 bikes in this one. They're all in one freight train. 44 Robinson trying to take the lead away from the 9. They'll go up the racetrack, up to the air fence. 44 Robinson, 9 of Meese. Bronson right there third. Breyer in fourth.
Yeah, Breyer right on the tail of his brother. He's going to have to get by him and get right on the backside of Robinson. And
just replay the start. Watch Brandon on the outside. The front wheel comes up. Looks like here comes the rider from the second row. Just couldn't get going off the start. Now he's going to drop to the bottom. So he's in about 6th, now 7th. And he'll drop all the way to the bottom and drop from the bottom of the racetrack. And he'll be coming off of turn number 2 in 3rd. So he goes from 7th to 3rd right there.
Yeah, he squared those guys up good. Missed a gear off the start there, but doesn't matter. He's back up front now.
That's right, the 44. The Revolver will lead him down the back straightaway. Brandon Robinson, 2-time winner here at the Springfield Mile, and it was a Sunday-Monday race, just like you brought up yesterday. He's looking for his first win on the Springfield Mile since back in 2013 when he did it back-to-back. Nope. Look at this, the top 3 from yesterday's main event are the top 3 in this semifinal. This is the little maybe preview what we're going to see later on. And don't forget the top 2 make the mission challenge, and everybody wants that extra $5,000. Looks like there's a little bit of bumps right there, right in the low line where Breyer went.
Yeah, it's really rough down there. I've seen that. You can drop to the bottom and cut off, a lot of real estate to make up some time, but you don't necessarily get the drive coming off the corner that you need.
Meese using the draft pass going by the 44 into turn number 3. So it's Meese, Robinson, Breyer's right there. And so Breyer's foot's about 8 inches off the ground. He's just right there just in case he needs it.
Yeah, you just kind of use it more as a balance point. You're not necessarily relying on it, putting a lot of weight like you would on a smaller track. It's just more of a balance position.
How about Bronson keeping up with these fast 3 guys right here? Bronson's got these guys right there in his sights. He's back on the 4 spot. Got a little bit sideways right there. Needs to get back in line. Here they come off at 2. It's Meese, Breyer, Robinson, and Bronson. Your top 4 are broken away from everybody else.
Yeah, Bronson hung right with these guys in the semifinal yesterday and just got off to a bad start in the main event, but see if he's able to hang with them here all day today.
Bronson's got his work cut out for him. The top 3 looks like they got a little bit of room. Here they come. Down the front straight, the 44 is trying to pull away. Meese will catch him there. They're going to go around the inside and the outside. Now Breyer gets back in line. I thought Breyer was going to try the high line for just a second. Lets off the throttle, gets back in line behind the 44. Meese will lead the freight train off of turn number 2. Robinson second. Breyer third. Bronson fourth, trying to keep up with him. A little bit of gap. There's a 43. The Harley back there. James Rispoli is by himself in the 5th position. Robinson goes back out in front.
Yeah, Robinson looks like to be the one that's in control of this race. He's been able to lead to the stripe the last couple times coming off of turn 4. See if he's able to do it again. This could be what he wants to do, is lead off the corner on the last lap.
Robinson, Meese they're testing the waters right now. Meese makes it into the first corner first.
Yeah, he's definitely, you see how Jared's getting a little bit more sideways in the middle of the corner where Robinson's able to get his foot up, driving straight. He definitely seems like his motorcycle is set up a little bit better to get forward bite.
Oh man, that was close. Robinson really had to pitch it sideways to keep from hitting the 9, but he goes into the lead. Breyer's right there in the draft of the 9 bike here. They come off of 4.
Yeah, Breyer's back there in 3rd. He's kind of like these guys are swapping back and forth in front of him. He needs to get himself in the 2nd. Being in 3rd, you're kind of like those guys going every which way in front of you. You kind of get stuck.
Last lap, semifinal number 2, the last qualifying race of the weekend. Meese, Robinson, and Breyer, they've got away from the 37 bike. He's by himself. The 43 bike's by himself. 3 riders battle for the top 2 spots to go to the mission challenge. Here they come.
Yeah, look at Breyer leaving it on the gas around the outside. Now he cuts to the bottom. Looks like he's going to get a great run off the bottom, possibly.
Breyer up the inside of the 44. He'll go after the leader. Coming off before he gets sideways. They're 3 wide off at the turn. Here they come. Oh!
Whoa,
Meese makes contact with the 44 of Robinson. Contact again. Coming off of turn number 4, coming to the finish line. That's how bad these guys want these top 2 spots. And Breyer is not happy right now with the 9 bike.
Yeah, those guys, I mean, they were... I don't even know necessarily what to say there. I mean, it gets close. I mean, you're going for it, and Jared had a good run off the top,
We'll take a look at the replay of the finish. We'll see what Breyer's upset about. 44 doesn't look like he's too happy right now either. Here they come. Meese goes up the inside and makes contact with the 44. The 44 reaches up and touches him right there. I don't know. It's one move.
He made one move, but it's like, you know, when you got 3 guys there and you're dropping to the bottom and, you know, yeah, I mean, he goes down across. Yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, when the guys are getting a run, I mean, you got to, yeah, I'd say that it's a little bit bad on Jared. I mean, you doing what you got to do to win, and you know, you're always trying to get out of the draft. You don't want to just stay straight because you're kind of a sitting duck to get drafted, and that's why Jared's moving to the bottom. But if somebody has a run up the inside of you like that, it can get close if they already have a wheel on you.
All right, let's go check in with Kristen Beat with her semifinal winner, the Jammer, Jared Meese on the 9.
Yeah, Jared getting his helmet off right now. Interesting, to say the least, as you were watching the battle between you and Brandon Robinson. What was going through your mind? There was one moment, too, when Brandon kind of pitched the bike sideways, and looking at the replay, I mean, it was just getting dicey out there.
Yeah, definitely. Brandon's actually rolling really, really strong through the corners, man. I mean, he's really hooked up, and he's putting them down in them corners, and we got to get a little bit better in the corners, but I think come main event time and we start to use the strategy, I think it'll be good.
Jared, one more question. You look so strong out there, and I noticed that you're trying some things other guys aren't trying. Where does that confidence stem from? Because when you look at some of the other riders in the top 4, they're not trying as many things on track.
You know, it's just, I guess, experience, just trying to move around a little bit and just try to see where I can maybe get a hold of the ground a little bit better.
Thank you so much.
Let's take a look at the replay. Jared Meese taking the win, semifinal number 2. Robinson second, Breyer's third, Bronson is fourth. Here is one more look at the replay. Coming off of turn number 4, Breyer right there looked like he was in the perfect spot. Meese just starts going up the inside. Again, you're allowed one move, and he goes right down there. He didn't know the 44 was there, and obviously the 44 didn't back off. Still finished up in second, but Breyer's taking a look over his shoulder, and Breyer definitely not happy after that finish line.
That wasn't bad. I mean, he's allowed one move, and he didn't do it like abruptly. He started the move down. I mean, Robinson definitely was the best getting off the corners. I mean, he wasn't slipping around, getting a good drive, and he already kind of had a wheel on Jared. Jared don't know that. He doesn't have rear view mirrors, and things just got a little bit close. But it's when somebody starts swerving, if you're making multiple moves, that's when it comes to where it's a no-go.
Qualifying in the books here at the Springfield Mile number 2. Don't forget, if you're watching at home, it's time to switch on over to TrackPass on NBC Sports Gold. From here on out, we'll be on TrackPass. When we come back, it'll be time for our Memphis Shades Babe to Mate Challenge, followed by the Mission Super Twins Challenge. More racing to come here at the Springfield Mile.
Welcome to CHD, your home for all things Harley-Davidson. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned bikes. Gear up for a ride with some new motor clothes. Or customize your bike with HD parts and accessories to make it as unique as you are. Our service department can store